Hello again. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about what it is like to date or be married to a musician, specifically a guitar player. I was with my husband for about 13 years before he sadly passed away in 2015. And out of those 13 years, I think I saw him maybe a handful of days without the guitar in his hand, but for the most part, he picked it up at least at some point during the day. And these are just kind of the quirks that I've picked up. I'm just messing around here because I am getting ready to move states and I'm between jobs and we're in the middle of quarantine, so this is in no way supposed to be taken very seriously. This is all just in fun. My husband was an amazing person and he was, in my opinion, an amazing guitar player and I enjoyed it, but there are things that can drive you absolutely nuts if you are not musically inclined, and these are some of them. Okay, so the first thing to get used to is picks. Picks are the musician's version of Legos. They will end up everywhere and you will step on them. You will prick yourself with them. You will have to check laundry because they are always going to end up in some kind of a pocket. They're probably going to end up on your bed. They're probably going to end up on your car. They're basically the glitter of the guitar world. And they are very picky on their picks. Steve was a tortoiseshell kind of guy. Don't ask me what weight that is. I'm not sure. They're all different weights, but I know that he didn't like the purple one and he didn't like the blue one and he didn't like the black one. The funniest thing is the universal weight is credit card. If you have an expired credit card, you will never have to shred them if you are with a guitar player. You just hand it right over because they are going to cut that sucker up into the perfect pick, and that will be the pick that they use no matter how expensive other picks they are. They're going to use that credit card pick because that is the ideal weight for some reason. Here's a quick story. So the other day I was down in the basement and I was packing up and moving some boxes and I stepped on a pick. And the thing is that my husband actually only got to live in this house for about 2 months before he passed away. So I don't even think that he ever got a chance to set up his musical equipment. So the fact that I can still be finding picks 5 years later in a house that pretty much has just been me, who is guitar dumb, is amazing to me. Okay, so another thing that you're gonna have to get used to is sound. A lot of sound, constant sound. It's very rarely gonna be ever quiet in an apartment when you live with a musician. Either they're going to be playing their respected instruments or they are going to be playing the table or playing their leg or playing the chair or playing whatever they can tap themselves the beat to. In Steve's case, because we live in an apartment, he couldn't plug in a amp that often because it would be too loud and we had crappy neighbors downstairs that would constantly complain. So he actually had a line 6 and he would plug in his guitar to a line 6. It's like a little pod. And then he would have headphones on and he would be able to hear his guitar, which worked really good. The problem with that being is that if you do not have headphones on and you are the person that is sitting in said small apartment with the guitar player, then you are stuck listening to a unplugged electric guitar. So here's the thing about electric guitars that are not unplugged. They are quite literally just skin rubbing across metal strings, and it is like nails on a chalkboard. I'm sorry, I never once told my husband that because I never wanted him to feel bad about playing guitar, but it is so unpleasant. And the funniest thing is that at least with my husband's case, he didn't usually play full songs. He actually just played snippets from songs, or he repeatedly played the same thing over and over again because he was trying to learn it, or he actually just practiced. He almost subconsciously played his guitar. He would be doing something completely different and be playing guitar. So all you would hear is it's just like a constant scratch of metal and against itself, and it's absolutely grating. It's horrible. It's so worth it, but it's horrible. So that's just a couple of the things that I can think of off the top of my head. This is already too long, so I am gonna end there, but I just want to make it really, really clear that even though I'm making these jokes and everything like that, I loved my husband's guitar playing and I thought he was really good at it, not just because he was my husband, but I really do think he was a really talented guitar player, and I wish that he would have been able to continue that. I say all this stuff because I can now. I wouldn't have been able to a year ago. I wouldn't have been able to 2 years ago, but I can now, and that's why I'm doing it, because I can say it and it doesn't bring a tear to my eye. Though I will admit that if, for all of the annoying sounds that that guitar would do, I would give anything to have that sound back. I will admit that. But again, this is just all in good fun. Find yourself a musician, because they are pretty badass. Okay, so I am going to add one more thing here, because I am a smartass, and it just wouldn't be me if I didn't add something incredibly inappropriate, and that is, for ladies out there, if you are going to get serious with a guitar player, there is one thing that you have got to keep in mind, and that is that 90% of all guitar players have incredibly calloused fingers. So as I was playing all this back, I realized that you can hear my music off my computer really easily in these. So this is just a bit of a disclaimer. I do not own the rights to any of the music you hear in this. It just happens to be what is on my playlist right now. It wasn't intentional. So, but I've been listening to a playlist. It's a mix between the two bands Louden Swain and Ludo. I have been listening to them a hell of a lot lately because, I don't know, they have like a great vibe, and both of them have like a really cool vibe. So for getting ready and packing and all this stuff, that's been great. Another thing I've actually been listening to is the podcast that the lead singer of Louden Swain does with another actor, which has been freaking hilarious and been helping me out a lot. So I'll put some of that stuff somewhere. You guys should check them out. It's freaking hilarious.